topic is how esports operators can find a sustainable affiliate ecosystem. For this, I'm really excited to welcome on stage a moderator will be Oliver De Bono, co-founder at Wikibet. Please give him a big hand. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Then please welcome on stage also Havard Land, co-founder at Nordic Affiliate. Put your hands together and please be louder. Thank you. Even louder, please. And also please welcome on stage Sooraj Rao, CEO at Mountbet. Give him a big hand. And also, last but not least, put your hands together and welcome on stage Paruyr Shahbazyan, CEO at Azuro. Oliver, the floor is yours. Please be attentive, and maybe you will have some also questions. I'm talking to the audience. Thank you.
Super. Thank you very much. I'd just like to introduce myself. My name is Oliver De Bono. I've been in the industry for about 18 years, both an affiliate, operator, B2B, and also event organizer. And the topic we're discussing today, I think, is quite an important one because, you know, we all speak about esports as the sleeping giant, and your acquisition models are one of the most important points you're going to get in any vertical within the online industry. And where we're going today is really to understand, you know, how we develop a lucrative and long-term strategy for player acquisition. Ultimately, is the goal for affiliation for the esports industry. Now, I'll be honest with you, we didn't go into too much detail because I want to keep this more of a discussion point and get a bit of, you know, the opinion of our panelists here, because that's really what it's about. You know, listening to the experts discussing their experience, and this is something that, you know, I think is important for us to see where this industry is going. So first up, I'd just like to get to know my panelists just for 1 minute, get a bit of background on what your experience within the esports industry is. So Havard, over to you, just a little bit of your background, what you've been doing in esports, so we can get a better idea of where you're coming from.
Thank you, Oliver. Well, my background is same as you, basically. So both from the affiliate and the operator side of things. Never really been doing anything with esports until now. And the reason we are doing it now is that we are seeing that this is really an untapped market for us, and it's a market that is going to grow and probably outgrow the regular sportsbook in the future, in my opinion.
Fair. Yeah, exactly. It is a new market for many people. Sooraj, are you okay? Does the mic work?
Check.
Yeah, perfect. So, Sooraj, over to you. A little bit of background. I know you're a veteran in the sports betting industry. You've got a very unique product, but just a bit of, you know, overview of what you're doing, possibly in and around these sports today.
Sure. So my name is Sooraj Rao. I'm the CEO of Mountbet and the Fair Sports Group. We've got a Tier 1 license from Isle of Man. And what we are is we have a unique product and we supply an exchange API. So unlike a traditional esports book, we have a peer-to-peer exchange, and we also have a lot of RNG games that we provide our users. We've been around for about 7 to 8 years, and we look forward to serving many more countries. Website is now integrated in Spanish and Portuguese, amongst many other languages, and we're looking to be a global powerhouse in the next few years to come. So a lot to look forward to.
Fantastic. Well, exactly. And sorry, this is going to be even louder. So I think I'm being cut off. 1 second. Okay, sorry. Sooraj, yes? So I'm just passing it over to you to get a bit of an update on your background, what you've been doing in the esports industry. I know you're coming from affiliation. If you can give us, you know, what's been happening in your world and what's your experience so far? Sorry, Zlatko, can we check? I don't know if all the mics.
I think, yeah,
okay.
It's good. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so my name is Paruyr. And so I started as a professional sports bettor. I was doing arbitrage in early 2000s for around 10 years. And as an arbitrage player, I got a lot of my accounts banned and winnings confiscated. So closer to the end of my career as a player, I founded Bookmaker Ratings in 2011, and it is the biggest online sports media, sports betting media in Eastern Europe. So the biggest market for us was Russia. Initially, I started there, but international business is growing. So around like more than 20% of revenue now is coming outside of Russia. So that's Russian-speaking countries: Kazakhstan, Ukraine, Belarus, and also we're going to Africa. So it's expanding other languages: Portuguese, Spanish, English. So in April 2021, we started with my team a decentralized betting protocol on blockchain. So the reason I started this was that I realized that our affiliate business, which is review websites, ratings, exists because of mistrust between players and bookmakers. Like, players need an independent third party to create this trust. And blockchain and smart contracts as a technology are disrupting our business. So if, let's say, like 5-10 years from now, everyone starts betting through smart contracts, they will not need, it's going to be trustless. They will not need review websites. They will not need trust. And so it's a threat to our business, and we decided to not just sit and look how this change comes, and like to become leaders actually, and start doing this change ourselves.
Excellent. So that's a bit of background. So what I want to do is now pull this into the esports industry, because as I said before, esports has been around for decades. People love the entertainment. If you are like myself, an avid gamer, then you know how big that is. How many people are paying massive subscriptions to be part of the the esports world. It's not just about the major competitions. It's also about the day-to-day user, and the generation is younger. But going into affiliation, I think most of operators and all of us here revolve around, let's say, the gambling industry. And we've always tried to say, okay, how are we going to bring in those players? And what we've begun to notice is that the value of esports is actually in the data. And this is something that I really want to go into today, because I think this is, the opinion of many people who've spent the last couple of years looking at the esports industry and saying, okay, how do we turn these players into gamblers? Well, we don't really. This is something that we've come to terms with over the last year. The acquisition point for this is eventually going to move towards subscription models. And how does an affiliate work on that? Because when you're looking at low rake revenue shares, what is the value for an affiliate to build an esports affiliate site that's driving traffic towards either an end product, a gambling site, bookmaker, exchange, or anything of that nature? The esports industry is a massive industry. The player base far exceeds that of the gambling industry, in all fairness. And how do we convert and merge those two? I think one of the biggest mistakes many people within the gambling industry make is assuming that an esports player is a gambler. They're not. It's competition-based. So just a little bit of a background over there, and that's what I want to talk with you. And I want to start with you a bit, Havert, especially coming from the affiliation front. When you're pulling in players, what are players looking for in the esports industry? What are the keywords? What are the terms players are looking for to come to your site? Is it bet on League of Legends? Is it how to gamble on esports? What kind of terms or trends are you seeing in the affiliation world?
Well, to be completely honest, we are still struggling a bit to find the converting keywords. As you said, it's a different market compared to the regular sportsbook or gambling world. So we are still struggling a bit to find the correct converting keywords, which is quite easy in other markets such as sportsbook or gambling. So yeah, we are still figuring it out, is my best answer, really.
Agreed. So I understand we're figuring out, but the players are coming in. They might not be converting to the casinos, but they're still coming to the site. So what are players looking for? What are the kind of trends happening today? So I go online, I'm an esports player. what am I looking for online? Forget, me converting into the casino, but I must be searching for, let's say major league games like League, like Dota, like FIFA, and so on and so forth. Where are the trends today, and which geos are you seeing the most incoming traffic?
Well, since we're only focusing on English-speaking markets at the moment, we're seeing a huge trend in the US, in Canada, in Europe in general, but English-speaking. The trending is basically match reviews is what we're seeing.
Match reviews.
Match reviews. And it's exactly the same as you're saying. We need to think in a different way. We need to try and build a community around it. We need to make sure that the content are 100% esports, that we are talking esports in a way that the players really are used to reading and talking. And we also need to create the sort of community feeling, because I think this is really important, not only the data part of it, but also the part of like building a community. You see all the players are using Discord, everybody's using different sorts of forums. And we also teamed up with international recruitment or agency for players.
Okay, so you're actually bringing in players as well to create that community, because we have found, for example, the Twitch community, especially the gaming community, is a massive driver for esports traffic, and I think this is definitely the direction it's going to go. But Paruyr, I want to shift over to you for a second, because obviously as an affiliate as well, where are you seeing the trends? Are there any particular geos that you have incoming players, and what are they searching for?
Yeah, so not sure about geos, but what they're searching for is the how-to content. So like, what are the rules of the settlement of the markets? And also a lot of traffic is for tips. Like they want reviews, they want like analysis of the game, and then some probabilities of the outcomes. And the players, the ex-player, the existing players, when they are commenting on something and giving tips, that's trusted from the bettors. Yeah, I'd say this is pretty much the content. Oh yeah, and the operator reviews. Also, people are searching for operator reviews. So there's like.
So the interesting thing is, what we're saying is you have players, coming with an interest in games and trying to understand how to gamble.
Yes,
in all
yes,
fairness.
yes.
So this is the very interesting thing, because again, esports is quite a regulated space, and a lot of those players are not yet, let's say, experienced with the gambling operators, in all fairness. But going into that, so we're saying these are players looking, okay, I want to bet on League of Legends. How do I, the how-to was, how do I place a bet on League of Legends, for example, is what I'm assuming that you're saying.
Yeah, the rules, like how that the market will be settled.
Very interesting. Sooraj, I'm going to shift over to you for a second, because you have the acquisition point, but
Right.
knowing what's happening on the operator side, so you're obviously seeing the bets being taken on your side. Where is the customer interest? Is it match betting? Is it ratios? Is it kill streaks? Where is the interest you're seeing of an influx of players? Where do they want to go once they become a customer of an operator?
So there's different kinds of customers, right? There's customers who are very particular and sure about what they want, and they usually stick to their event category. It might be a sporting category, it might be within a sporting category, it might be a particular competition. For example, some players might be just interested in the PGA golf, some just in the Premier League in football, and there's some that are new to the operator's interface and sort of, hover around, wiggle around, and find their way and find their calling eventually. So there's all sorts of customers when we have on our platform. There's some that are really loyal to sort of their sport, and then there's some that go around RNG and slot games, and then come back to sports and just do the entire sort.
So, but do you find that there's a big transition? You know, let's say those normal sports bettors, do they go and then try out esports product, looking at the games? Because this is really where I think much of the industry has focused for many years. You know, coming from a gaming background myself, I can't 100% say that, you know, if I want to gamble on League of Legends, would I cross over from a football, let's say, operator and say, okay, I'm going to put this bet on this game? Because I think the biggest issue over there is you don't know the players or the top tier teams as well as you know the likes of Liverpool and Manchester United and so on and so forth. And I think this has been one of the hardest transitions for, you know, the sports book traffic to be replicated into esports. I think it's a very different animal. And I know, Paruyr, you want to jump in on this one?
Yeah, so when the COVID happened in April 2020, there was no sport like for around 2 months. And everybody started telling like the esports betting is growing and is like growing tenfold and everything. But then when you looked in what they meant by esports was just like FIFA. It was still soccer. It wasn't the esports, the League of Legends or Dota or Counter-Strike. So it was just still traditional sports, but played on computer. And yeah, I think it's very hard to convert a traditional sports player to an esports player. I think that's a separate audience which grows. Basically,
I think it's about access, right? Access to broadcasting, basically, because sports is broadcast on like millions of screens around the world, but esports is broadcast on limited screens. So when consumers have access, they learn more about the sports, and then I think we'll start to see active participation into esports, and that transition will naturally happen.
100%. Feed is everything. In fact, you know, our hosts of today, they're great at providing some of the better esports feeds in the industry. But going into that, so we understand what the players want. The next question, and really what this panel is going to wind down to be about, is the affiliate ecosystem. We know those players don't convert in the same way sportsbook or casino or roulette or slots players convert. So what is the acquisition model that we're going to go forward with? Harvard, I'm going to go over to you on this one, especially being an affiliate, because your background is when you're talking to operators or esports providers, what are the negotiations like? What are they offering for these players? Is it a rev share model? Is it a CPA? Can you work on CPM, CPL? What is the industry dictating at this point in time? Because it is a very young industry, in all fairness.
Yeah, it is for sure a very young industry. I mean, what we are preferring to have is a hybrid deal, consisting of either a CPL or a CPA and a revenue share. This is basically because we are also very unsure on how the players are going to be, how they're going to act, what they're going to be worth. So from my side and my perspective, it's all about securing that we are making the most money, of course. That's I need to be as honest as that. But we also need to try and move and see how everything is going to be, because it's a very young industry.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the issue is an affiliate. If you're putting your time, your money, your assets into bringing on traffic, you need to monetize it in some way or another. So when you're going to send that to an operator, you're going to say, look, we put 6 months work into these pages. We have X amount of traffic. You need to give us something back. And then is it the operator's responsibility to convert that traffic? Have they done the right job to ensure those esports players are actually going to become customers of the operator of the game? It might not only be an operator, it could potentially be, you know, a subscription-based actual gaming company for, you know, again, the traffic is quite similar. So I get that you need to monetize it, but like what kind of deals would those operators agree upon? Because we are talking about a market that is currently low volume in the wagering side of things. So have you seen any, for example, pure CPA deals that are working within the esports side?
No, we haven't run any pure CPA deals at the moment. We are basically only running on hybrid deals. And I also think it's a mutual responsibility to make the player convert, not only the bookmaker's responsibility. We need to make sure that we have convertible traffic, meaning that we are reaching the target keywords that after a while we manage to identify that are converting. And the way we are doing that is that we are also running PPC. So we are trying to identify the converting keywords and then adapt our SEO structure or strategy from that.
Okay, very interesting. So you're actually running PPC campaigns to pull in these players at the moment and then using that data to assess where the industry is going.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
So again, data.
Excellent. So again, I'm going to go back over to affiliation quickly because it's very interesting to see what the market is dictating. Myself as an operator also, I'll give a bit of a brief, but Paruyr, I'd love to understand from your side, what kind of deals the market is dictating.
Yeah, so long term, obviously, revenue share pays more. And I think affiliates are choosing CPA because that's the only way to control what you are paid for. You have the post backlinks, and that's where you control like whether the player has gotten to the deposit page and moved on from there. Then the deposit has happened. I need to get my CPA. In the revenue share reports, you only get what operator wants to show you. The industry, yes, there is no control in affiliate sense, like zero control. And I think that's why affiliates are choosing the hybrid deals and CPA deals. Otherwise, I mean, if affiliates trusted to operators, they would always choose the revenue share.
Yeah, again, I mean, revenue share is an investment. You want to bring that player to an operator and keep them long term. But this is great because we have 2 affiliates and 2 operators over here, so we can all negotiate, But that's where the blockchain comes in. That is also
Exactly.
the future
Exactly.
of tech over there. But Sooraj, you've heard the opinion of affiliates. What as an operator, as a sportsbook operator, what is it that you guys are willing to offer affiliates? But keep in mind, you're an exchange, so you have a rake system. So, like, what kind of deals would you say you would be open to get traffic from esports affiliates?
You're right. I guess the point of the discussion is how we can find a feasible solution to everybody in the ecosystem, including affiliates and operators, and find a sustainable model that works for all of us so we can split the risk of the campaigns run for player acquisitions. Now, having said that, I completely respectfully disagree with these gentlemen here because I have most of our affiliates are signed on a pure rev share deal. Some of them are on board on a hybrid deal. Of course, as Parvar said, it comes down to trust, and they do trust us, so that's a good start. But I have some advice for new operators launching too, that when you go ahead, you got to make sure that you're prepared for affiliate marketing. And when I say that, there's plenty of very nice affiliate marketing networks out there, softwares out there that make for complete transparent tracking for and allow you to market via different BTAG solutions with your affiliates. So when it comes to maintaining data hygiene and reports, it's really good. The issue from an operator perspective with CPA deals and purely CPA deals is that usually affiliates only ask for a deposit trigger and not a deposit wagering trigger, and it takes a few months to realize the lifetime value of any player. So the issue really lies in the incentives of the affiliate. The incentives of the affiliate are temporary, and when they sign on a new client, it's like the incentives shift and their marketing focuses shift to shifting traffic to the new client rather than promoting their old client so they can realize the lifetime value of a player. Because as we know, it's much harder and much more expensive to go there and acquire new players for affiliates than it is to shift the existing database to a new client. And that is where the conflict of interest lies. It's sort of like a monkey holding on to one branch and then going on to the next and swinging through.
Well, this is very much what the industry has been based on, especially, if you're an affiliate and you've got the right skills, especially on the retargeting, anyone who knows how to drop a pixel can follow those players around, and you know that after 15, 20 days, they've made their deposit with an operator, then you can retarget them, you can send them to another one. But again, it comes down to trust. And I think one of the biggest issues that the industry has is trust goes both ways. You need to trust that the affiliates aren't giving you players, taking a CPA and then sending those to another operator, and in return you need to trust as the affiliate that that operator is being honest on those rev share models. Unfortunately, we've literally just run out of time, and I would have loved to go into this because we spoke about blockchain earlier, and blockchain has always been that little light at the end of the tunnel where you can say, okay, I'm 100% sure I have full transparency on what my players are doing, and in return the operators can get full transparency on what the affiliates are doing and whether they're sending that traffic elsewhere. So it is a two-way street. That's a subject we'll have to go into another time. But I just want to thank our panelists. I want to thank the audience. I want to thank Odin, our sponsor on this one. It's been a great talk. We will definitely pick this up off stage. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, AGS.
Thank you.
Thank you, SiGMA.